Right, welcome back everyone. I am today at a nature reserve, which I've not been to before, RSPB Nagshead. I've recently had a renewal membership card come through the post, and it was sat on my desk this morning. And as I was wondering where to go, I looked at this card and thought, you know what, I don't visit the RSPB nature reserves very often, yet I'm a member. So I went on the internet and just adjust that exposure a little bit. Googled reserves near me. This one came up as about an hour and a half away, and I thought, well, I've not been here before, so I'll come and check it out. So I thought I'd bring you along for the journey with me. Right, I don't know if you can see all that because of the sun hitting the left-hand side, but looks like there's at least 1-2 hides, which I hope to visit, and a good variety of species that can be seen here, including boar. Now, I've never been very lucky with wild boar. In fact, I've never actually seen a wild boar at all, although I have heard them but not been able to see them yet. So it'd be quite nice to spot one, although it is very, very busy today, so I'm not too hopeful. Right, and talking of wild boar, you can clearly see that they have been here. There's some evidence just there and along here where they basically get their snouts, lift up the ground, turn it over, looking for, I guess, grubs or whatever they can find to eat, roots, vegetation. There's not too much evidence of it here, but certainly these two spots by the car park are showing already. So having just checked out the visitor centre and notice board behind me, I'm going to make my way down to the lower hide. Right, so a couple of highlights on that board for me. Well, obviously, I've mentioned the wild boar already. Kingfishers allegedly showing from that hide, and yeah, I mean, even either of those two I would class as a result. Straight in the sun. There we go. It's just that exposure a little bit there. So either of those two would be a good result, and I'd be very, very happy. So one of the things about it being an RSPB reserve, well, it means two things to me. First of all, the RSPB do a very, very good job, not just with birds, but actually with all wildlife in terms of creating a habitat for them. So I'm quite encouraged that I'm likely to see something today. I just don't know what yet. And the other thing, though, is that being an RSPB site, people like me just decide all of a sudden that they're going to go and visit it, and so it's obviously quite a busy place. So that means that whilst I might see some wildlife, I'm probably not going to get the close-up, detailed pictures that I would ideally like. But you know, I've not been here before, so I'm very, very happy to just check it out and see what I can find. Right, so I can see the hide, but just before we get there, again, quite a lot of evidence of boar here. You can really see where they've turned that soil over there, all the way around this area, just right under the trees there, and just up over there as well. So they've clearly had some wild boar rummaging around here. Now, looking at this vegetation, it's quite difficult this time of year because, being that it's damp, the grass will stay greener for longer. Certainly if it's the summer, once the grass has been turned over, if it's left in the sunshine, it will dry quite quickly, and so you can sort of identify or make a guess as to how recent the boars have been in the area. But this time of the year it's a little bit more tricky because, as I say, the wet environment that we have keeps the grass fresher for longer. But this looks to me like, I mean, can't really see any dead grass amongst it, so I'm going to say probably the last 48 hours, but that's a pure guess from my side. Again, all the way around here you can see where they've been rummaging and turning over the soil. This looks a bit more dry, so this looks like it was probably disturbed a few days ago, as opposed to quite as recently as the last 2 days, I'd say. Right, well, unfortunately, lower hide for me was a write-off. I got there and it was a couple of families in there who were just, all of them, really, really loud. Not just the children, the adults as well, making no effort to to be quiet, which you'd normally expect at a nature reserve, certainly in the hides. But no, they haven't got a clue, so I'm not going to waste my time there. There is another hide here, so I'm going to walk over to that one, be out of breath because backpack's quite heavy and I'm going up a hill, so I'm going to walk to the other hide and see if I get any joy there. Oh, starting to really sweat. This is a bit of an incline. I've got quite a lot of layers on, but I have seen my first bit of wildlife. Nothing too exciting, a grey squirrel running across in front of me. But hey, at least it's something. Now I've got a decision to make. I either take one of the nature trails, the short trail or the long trail, or walk to the Campbell Hide, which I'm inclined to do because I could do with a rest, something to eat. Wouldn't mind a cup of coffee either, and perhaps to cool down a little bit. I think I'll try that. The thing is, I've lost my direction, so I don't know which way the Campbell Hide's at. So I'm going to keep walking in a straight line in the hope that I'm going the right way. Right, well, I've been walking up this muddy path behind me for what feels like an eternity, and it's uphill too. So I really hope that I'm going in the right way. But if I'm not, I guess at least it's downhill if I have to turn around. But oh, I am getting quite sweaty now. I should say that one of the benefits of walking up a muddy track like this is that not many people come up here, because people don't want to, one, walk uphill, and two, get covered in mud. Whereas if you're, in fact actually a lot of photographers, I know a lot of photographers like that too, but if you're prepared to dress for it and put the effort in, you can be rewarded with some lovely peaceful spots in nature, all on your own. And it's definitely a better way of getting close to the wildlife when you find them. I can hear Paul, can you hear that? Can you hear that? Over there. I don't want to get too close. I really hope that came out on camera. I'm going to stop vlogging for the moment and see what I can find. In fact, I'm going to put this video camera away and get my proper long lens out, because I want to be able to snap a shot quick if I see one. Can you hear it now? That's got to be Paul. Right, so as you can see, I've made it to the hide I was looking for. Turns out it wasn't in the direction I was travelling. It was in completely the opposite direction. I had carried on tracking the boar from their noises, and I could hear that they were moving towards this side of the woodland. So I just decided to double back and track the boar's movement from their sound. And so as I was doing that, I then stumbled across a sign for this particular hide. And indeed, I have seen wild boar for the first time in my life. And sadly, well, I have a picture, but it's, you can't even really identify what it is, but it is a wild boar. Came out through the bracken, only momentarily. But I did actually bring, and this is new to me, a thermal scope with me today. In fact, I will do a bit of a, not a review, but a bit of a video on it. And that's really helped me track the movement of the boar through the bracken. And I've been able to film some video on it, handheld, at a distance, mind. It'll give you an idea of what that looks like. I'll put that on screen for you now. And I've also had a couple of visits from some fallow deer as well. Some very, very large adult male fallow deer, which is really, really nice to see. But they are proper twitchy, and even though they were quite far away, they were looking towards the hide almost as if they knew that I was here. So I dare say that this is what I've worked up is probably the stench of it's probably gone out the hide and they can probably smell me. Either that, or maybe it's my coffee, which is also on the go. So anyway, that's a result. That's a result. There was actually a couple in this hide when I arrived already, and they were in here for a good while with me, so that's why I hadn't filmed anything beforehand, because I didn't want to be discourteous to the fact of just looking around. What's that? It's a bird of some sort, I missed it. So this is the scene out of the hide, and the boar came right at the top there, just momentarily where my finger was, into sight, and then back into the bracken. And right now I can hear them from that direction up there, but still quite far into the distance. Anyway, I'll spin you around. We've got a pond just down in front of us, just down there. And then to the other side, we've had fallow deer working our way through here, but it's very difficult to get a picture or a clear picture because of the trees and leaves and shrubbery. Right, so we had a fox come through right in front of me. Had no idea I was there. Managed to get a good picture of it. I'll pop it on screen for you. I'm high up, so it's not an ideal angle, but nice clear picture of a fox. And especially nice to see because we're out in the middle of the Forest of Dean, so this is a country woodland fox, not your normal tame urban foxes. So very nice to see. Just had 2 fallow deer in right below the hide, drinking from the pond. Mother and her, I think fawn is the right word, if that's correct. Now, I knew if I stopped my lens out, they would see me and run them out. I didn't want to disturb them drinking. So I just managed to get a bit of mobile phone footage after they'd started to drink and they were walking away, because it was a bit of a smaller imprint holding a mobile phone over the edge. And a couple of photos as they started to walk back in towards the wood. As I say, sometimes the best camera is the one that the wildlife can't see, and in this instance it was a mobile phone rather than me swinging around this big lens, scaring everything off. Anyway, I'll pop it on screen for you, and I hope you enjoy. Right then, so it's actually a week later, and I've decided to come back. I didn't get a clear shot of a wild boar last time, just that kind of blurry, kind of dark blob, which I know for a fact was a wild boar because I was able to see it, but not quite the pictures I was hoping for. I've actually been walking quite a bit, managed to find a group of wild boar. Let's swap palms because that's aching a bit. And I was able to get at least one, not amazing picture, but clear picture of a wild boar doing what a boar does best, eating, rummaging, foraging through the leaves and turning over the soil. So I managed to sneak up on a group of around about 6 or so of them feeding. I didn't want to vlog it because the moment I start doing that, I'm going to make noise. I can't talk. I'm going to scare them off, and I didn't want to do that. I don't want to interrupt what they're doing. And then I got within reasonable distance of them. I didn't want to push it. It looks like a group of young boar there, with one slightly older adult, presumably possibly a mother. And I was able to sit there for about maybe half an hour and watch them feed around me. Now, they're very, very skittish. At least these ones were. Now, I don't think they can see too well, so I don't think clocking me, especially in camera gear against a tree, is an issue. But I think what I did notice was that even though there's no wind here, the minute there was a slight breeze or a slight small gust, which was unfortunately blowing my scent directly to them, they would stop, sniff the air, look around, and then they'd just move a bit further away. And then I'd have to wait another 10 or 15 minutes for them to work their way back towards me again. So Clearly, really, really strong sense of smell. I don't think their eyesight's too good. So what I've done is basically just let them carry on feeding. They naturally headed off into a different direction. I didn't want to go chasing them in the woods. That's not the way I do my photography. And so I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll now move on and see if I can find any more boar elsewhere, and hopefully get some better pictures still. So unlike last week, those boar were not making any snorting, grunting noises. They did seem quite a bit smaller though in terms of their size from the one that I saw last week where I got the really, really blurry picture from. So I was able to just find those because I could hear the loose leaves being moved in the soil off the path here, which drew my attention to them hunting. So hunting, feeding. Right now I have changed my setup slightly for this week. I found the 200 to 800 lens just too long. The focal length was a bit too long for the forest. Generally speaking, I've got trees in the way, or I'm on a main path. I don't think I really need 800 millimeters. It's a bit of extra weight to carry on a backpack. It's also more clunky to swing around as well. It's just less convenient really. So I've swapped out to the RF 100 to 500 millimeter, which you'll see here. Which I've been able to put on a peak design capture clip, which means I can walk around and grab the camera at a moment's notice if I see anything. I've got a teleconverter which I put in my pocket if I need it. I did need it, I should say, for that last shot. Well, I didn't need it, but it was advantageous, even though it did lose some light. It's quite a big one. I've got to be honest, I'm a little nervous that he's this close, or she. I definitely won't want to get on the right end of it. And it's walking towards me. I've got to be careful next time to move. Right, I've been spotted by that one down there. And is running towards that one over there. There's two boar. Wow. Right, well, I've got to be honest. I've got two boar right behind me there. Their eyesight's terrible. Their sense of smell is really, really good. Had some really nice shots lined up on the path, really nice and low. Unfortunately, he's done nothing wrong. A cyclist has come by perfectly within the rights to it. It's the Forest of Dean. There's cycle tracks all over the place. To be fair, the guy did stop as soon as he saw me trying to take pictures. I obviously waved him through and let him know that boar was there, and he went through as slowly as he could. But obviously, the boar then just moved, unfortunately, which is a real shame because I had some really nice close-up pictures. But I mean, that is some progress, you know, and that's quite a sizable boar, I'd say. I'm an expert, and I'll confess, as it started to get a bit close towards me, you know, I had to back off a few times. I thought, you know what, I think I don't want to stress it out. I know they have the capability to be dangerous. I'm not experienced with them. I certainly don't want to stress out the wildlife or take any risks. I've got quite a lot of reach with what I've got with me anyway. Let's not take any chances and let's just back off a bit. So that's what I did. I might live to regret that, but wow, what an encounter. Really, really happy with that. Oh, well, I just found this bench whilst walking along, so I'm going to take a few moments to have a cup of coffee, something to eat. This is actually chicken and sweet corn roll. Is it bad that in my bag I also have a pork sausage Scotch egg, and I had pork sausage for breakfast. I don't know, you be the judge of that. But wow, what an encounter. You know, I've been trying for, I'm going to say, probably 3.5 years on and off to try and see and photograph, let alone photograph, even find wild boar in the Forest of Dean. Now, I've done entire days from dusk to dawn walking for miles, multiple times, and not seen a single boar at all. Plenty of signs of them from the soil that they've turned over, from their footprints everywhere, but never seen wild boar until today. So just to find those two encounters, absolutely fantastic. Really happy, over the moon. Obviously, it's still 10 to 4 now, so we've got just an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes left of the day, and hopefully, as the day starts to come to a close, we might get more encounters. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, I've never had a day like this before, so I'm just count myself as really lucky. And I'm just going to take this time to calm down and have a coffee and something to eat. But yeah, what a day so far. Right, well, it's time to move on, I think. So now that I've had some coffee, something to eat, and what I'm going to do is walk down the way I came, which is Spinney Round. You can see it down there, down that main path, and I've got about an hour and a half left of daylight. I don't want to get too far away because it does get quite dark in the forest much earlier than it does in an open exposed field. I do have a torch with me, but I have been lost at night in the forest of Dean before without a torch, and it wasn't a pleasant experience. So I'm going to walk down in that direction and then keep an eye out for these little areas here where you can see the light is just shining on, and then probably those sort of areas there I'm going to just stop for 5-10 minutes and see if anything shows and comes into the light, because that's one of the main challenges I have photographing here, is the fact that I don't necessarily have great light, especially with the lenses that I've got. Right, well, I've come roughly half a mile down the path from where the action just last happened, but I came across not a running stag, but I'm going to say a fallow deer stag calling. And I heard him before I saw him, so I heard the noise, decided to peer through the woods to try and investigate. And I was just able to film him through the trees. I could see his antlers, could see him calling. And I hope, it's all handheld footage, mind, I hope I got it on camera for you. I think it's time I wrap this vlog up here. I've had a really successful afternoon. I really enjoyed last week as well. I can't complain with my first sighting and pictures and quick bit of video of wild boar. Not a bad result. One thing to ask of you, please, if you've enjoyed it, learned something, found it entertaining or whatever, please give the video a like, and also please consider subscribing to my channel. Obviously, remember, subscriptions are free. Obviously, it helps me and helps my channel grow, and gives me the, I guess, the motivation to make more content for you to watch free of charge. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye-bye.